everybody. This is Sequel-centric, where we like to break stuff. we take a look, where we normally take a look at follow-ups in the media to see how they stack up against their predecessors. But today, it's a Fireside chat episode. I am Sandra, and he is Dante to my Becky. Wait a minute. If we're talking about one movie, she doesn't even exist yet.
She's in the Clerks universe.
Yeah, but she doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
You're gonna be Dante to my
your choice,
Victoria.
Okay, you mean Veronica?
I mean Veronica.
I was gonna say your choices are Caitlin or Veronica. So
no, Caitlin's the two timing. How you doing, Nate?
Great. Now that we got that out of the way, Veronica. I'm doing great. I know we usually leapfrog, but this being episode 37.
37
in a row. Exactly. So obviously we had to talk about this movie, but we're going for a little different approach. Instead of our normal movie review, we
couldn't not talk about it.
True. We're gonna do a fireside chat, which normally happens over on Patreon. Usually it's a little less structured, a little bit more casual, friendly chat about it. We'll see how that goes. But before we head off to all the usual housekeeping stuff, just want to take this moment to dedicate this episode to my Uncle Scott in Colorado, who, like me, loves camping outdoors, going off the grid, rock climbing, and has a great sense of humor.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And, so there he is, Uncle Scott, out on the Green River in 2019 with me and Jacob and Papa John and Uncle Chris, and it was a great time going off the grid and just hanging out. And Megan,
I didn't get to go,
and
I wasn't invited.
I don't know. Would you want to be be stranded with a whole bunch of Blake men for a whole week?
Hell no.
I don't know how Megan did it, but she rolled with it.
She's braver soul than me, and I've been here longer.
Okay.
Maybe that's it. I know better.
Probably. You want to welcome any newcomers, Sandy? Or Veronica?
Want me to say hi to everybody in chat?
Yeah, who's in the chat?
We've got Big Mama Blake. She says, I'm ready. Eduardo, Marty is here. And Eduardo says, Veronica is my neighbor, the crazy cat lady. So, yeah, what's next? I'm not even paying attention.
Leapfrogging.
Okay. We would like to welcome any newcomers as our tried and true, as well as... There, see?
Stumble.
There we go. We stumbled. I got in the gate, and then I stumbled.
Yeah. Around the first turn, in horse terms.
Tripping on my feet. Or my tongue. We would like to welcome any newcomers as well as our tried and true regulars. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell because you don't want to miss out on any new episodes or Stuffy's Hot Takes.
Yes, and currently we put a little collage of Stuffy's Hot Takes together over on Patreon, which is only $1 if you want to hear all of her little tidbits slapped together. If you're also looking for some more sequel-centric content, head over to patreon.com/sequelcentric.com. And for a mere $1, you can access around an extra 30 pieces of content right now, including Fireside Chat on Netflix's Masters of the Universe Revelations, which Kevin Smith was also involved with.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, here at Sequel-centric, we would like to thank our super and outrageous tier patrons for helping us grow this channel. Throw up that beautiful...
Oh, dagnabbit.
I can't say bean footage. I don't want to get sued by Bush's Baked Beans.
Yeah. Patreon. There we go.
Yeah.
What'd I do wrong?
Nothing.
Did I do something wrong?
No.
Then why are you looking at me like that for?
What? And a special shout out to a few people who I interact with throughout the week, like Dante and Randall, Jaime, Eduardo, aka Smiley, Pete, James, Daniel, Nicole, Taylor, Warren, Ken, Dinya, Antonio, Abel, Teresa, Kim, Marley, Karina, Alan, Dave, Tom, Adam, Cody, Keith, Noah, Mitch, Kevin, Tanner, Jennifer, Greg, Ryan, Steve, Will, and
Oz.
David Marchand.
And the kitchen sink. Jeez.
Well, you know, I on the Jay and Silent Bob episode that we're still trying to, you know,
you could say the
edit.
gang at Toyota.
Yeah, but you know, at least they can go. Oh, I heard you mention me on your.
There you go.
It's like a leg kick.
You got like a nervous twitch.
Yeah, well, didn't Big Mama Blake tell you that? Well, actually, she did in a roundabout sort of way when she goes, "He's your problem now."
That should have been my first clue.
Yeah, should have been.
Before we start today, I can't talk today. Before we start talking about today's episode, we would like to let everyone know that normally Fireside Chat is over on Patreon, starting with $1. I thought we already went over this. With Watch List versus Chat and Stump the Chump coming soon. These are bonus episodes where we at Sequel Centric can have a more relaxed and open conversation about any piece of media or test our movie knowledge with a quiz. Give us a try. You might like it.
Okay.
I gotta proofread this stuff.
Let's have a little chat with the person who's writing all this.
Cindy's got a very good comment.
Okay.
Instead of saying the copyrighted
beautiful beam footage.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to say it.
Beautiful.
I don't have a beeper button.
Beautiful.
She says, how about saying roll that beautiful Blake footage?
There you go.
We can say that.
As we said earlier, today marks our 37th episode in a row. So we here at Sequel Centric wanted to have a little fireside chat about the movie Clerks and what we think about it. We think it's a good movie and have a little casual conversation about it. Boom, boom, boom.
This one? Please tell me that's the right one.
It is.
Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing, weirdo?
There.
I don't see Stuffy yet. What are we doing?
Let's add a little movie info before we chat it up, shall we, Sandy?
Okay, how about we give ourselves a little movie info? Wait. God, you're so
what?
Fidgety.
I'm not fidgety. I was just gonna. Clerks, released on October 19th, 1994, rated R with a running time of 92 minutes. Currently showing on Pluto TV with commercials, Amazon Prime with no commercials. Director Kevin Smith, written by Kevin Smith, music by various artists. Produced by Scott Mosier and Kevin Smith, with a budget of $27,575 and a box office return of $3.2 million. Not bad for an indie film. Considering from what I've read over the years, he maxed out all of his credit cards, sold his comic book collection, and they found out the reason why this movie is black and white is because it was more cost effective to produce. So
yeah. Omar Rivera says, "Hi, Nate."
Excellent. Thanks for joining us.
That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, he usually hangs out with our buddy Chris MacDaddy. Chris.
Oh. Okay, I won't say it.
Is it killing you? Did you have to say his full title?
No.
Okay.
Fine.
Would you like to lay down some fun?
We got some fun facts. Clerks is considered a landmark in independent filmmaking, and in 2019 was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. Bet you didn't know that.
Kind of crazy. It's up there with.
I too am a vast, whatever, of useless knowledge.
There's some other movie that we recently did that is in there. Can't remember what. It's kind of interesting. If you type up what movies are in the the National Film Registry and in the Library of Congress, it's kind of crazy. I know we just recently did one. Can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
What do you think about Clerks?
Well, I gotta do a picture first.
Okay. Clicky, clicky.
This picture right here pretty much says it all.
Well, you know, when you work at a store when the owner goes to Vermont for the weekend and leaves
yeah.
You know,
So,
what's that phrase? The mice will play while the cat's away.
When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Yeah, yeah. So.
Or rats. We're rodents.
Vermin?
The vermin will play. Yeah, that's kind of. Okay, I'm gonna keep my opinion on that one.
What's just. So, I mean, I can't remember if I know we rented it. I can't remember
if I rented it. I didn't know what we were watching.
Did I watch it?
The first time I watched it, I got bored.
Did I watch it first and then I made you watch it? Did we watch it?
We watched it together.
Okay.
Because we were living at the house on Pleasant Grove.
That's right.
And I pretty much hid out in my room.
That's where stuff we thought
you didn't like her. Antisocial, yeah.
Had to tell her. I said, no, she talks about you all the time, just not to your face. I don't think your girlfriend likes me.
Nope. So yeah, the first time I watched it, I was bored, and then you made me watch it again, or you were watching it, so I watched it with you again.
It must have been that.
And I started paying attention to the dialogue, and I was like, oh, okay, this movie is kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Smith's this movie and the ones that follow in the View Askew universe and some of his other films like Zack and Miri Make a Point. It's very dialogue heavy, which isn't all that bad. I mean, one of the things that Kevin Smith asked someone about, because I guess he had an interest in making film, and whoever he talked to said straight up, make a film on something that you know. And at the time, he had a job at the Quick Stop, you know. So the store in the movie, Kevin Smith actually worked at. So he knew all that. So that's why, you know, I think it's so relatable after all these years, you know. And
it's almost biograph. I can't say the goddamn.
Biographical?
Biography. Oh. God bless America.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was crazy was he would work at the Quick Stop, like pretty much the shift that Dante had. And then after he closed at 11 o'clock, then they filmed from 11 to 4, which is interesting because in the movie that he directed, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, where they ended up, because Zack worked at the coffee shop. Yes. So he did that, and then they filmed the movie at nighttime, and in the morning he went back. So that little clip in that movie is kind of what parallels, you know, what Kevin Smith did to make this movie.
So Nate, did you enjoy the movie?
Me? Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, bought the movie multiple times, including Laserdisc.
Really?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had that in Mallrats.
On Laserdisc?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bought the Laserdisc for, you know, mainly the Star Wars, the OG trilogy, because it's like, it was Steph wearing out the Breakfast Club tapes, like, and, you know, this is before DVDs hit. I mean,
DVD of the 80s.
Yeah, so I'm basically, the Laserdisc player is the predecessor. Predecessor? No. Predecessor.
Yeah.
To the DVD player, except for, you know, the discs were like 12 inches, like an LP record.
Yeah, they're about the size of an
But
LP.
it was totally worth it for the sound and, you know, all that other stuff, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so multiple times. I mean, what I like about it, it captures the life of two buddies who work together at a convenience store. They have all different sorts of conversations between the Death Star and how the customers annoy them, and then the interactions with the customers and things about life, you know. About, you know, one of the things I like is about, you know, Dante, it was supposed to be his day off. The owner calls him, says, you know, if you come in, open up, I'll come in 11, so you know you can have the rest of the day off, and that doesn't happen, and so him and Randall and all their buddies play hockey on the roof of the Quick Stop, which is, you know, it's like he's at the store, he hasn't left the premises, but at the same time he's doing what he was supposed to do on his day off. So.
Eduardo's never seen a laser disc in person.
Oh, really? Dang. If I knew where my laser discs were, I could probably pop them out.
Pop one out.
Pop one out.
I think they're in the closet. Hey.
Sorry.
So, did you have any favorite scenes?
But it's the whole reason why we're doing this episode. But do you have a favorite scene? Because I don't know if your favorite scene. I think my favorite scene might overshadow yours. You want me to go first, or?
Yeah.
So, one of the
not a contest.
Well, I know, but it just for me, it's like. It's the best. There's a lot of great scenes. I'll say this. There's a lot of great scenes. There's a lot of great moments. But for me, this is my personal favorite. It's definitely within the top 3. And it's after Dante gets pelted by a whole bunch of angry customers buying cigarettes. And his girlfriend, Veronica, comes in and takes a fire extinguisher and hoses everybody down, clears out the crowd. And they're behind the counter talking, and he's painting her fingernails, and there's some change up on the counter.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Aren't you afraid anybody's gonna, steal stuff?" And he goes, "No. People are paranoid when they don't see anybody around. They feel like they're being watched. So most of the time, people are just coming in for coffee or a newspaper. So they just, there's some mixed change up there." And then somehow they get into the conversation of how many people they were, romantically intimate with before they started dating one another. And Dante's trying to dodge the question on how many women he slept with before Veronica, but she was persistent. So he said 12, and she's like 12, and she kind of like. To me, it looks like she kind of shoves his head, but I guess it was kind of a light slap, and he's like, "Whoa, what?" And she's like, "Would you know how many people I've slept with?" And he goes, "I don't know. Do I get to slap you too?"
Right. Yeah.
And she's all like 3, and he's like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. She's like, "I'm not the pig you are," And then something else comes up, and a customer is there, and then
that she knows.
Yeah, knows.
From school, isn't it?
Yeah, school.
Yeah, from school.
And then that's how the whole scene about her.
Yeah, his nickname is Snowball, and she just explains what that means. Yeah. And kind of gross, but.
Well, this gets him up.
And she asks him how. Dante asks how she knows that, and she's like, "Well, because I did that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, how many?
Well, he said. You said you never slept with her. She's like, "I didn't. I just, I fooled around with them."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, how many?" And she's, they're arguing in front of the customers, which is unprofessional. But he's like, so he's focused on this one thing. He wants that magic number. And she's like, something like 36. He goes, "Something like 36. Does that include me?" She's like, 37. He's like, "I'm 37." And she's like, "I'm out of here," because he's being irrational and stuff, and he just starts talking to the customers and whatever, and it's just, that's just, I won't go into, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but that's one of the reasons why, with this being episode 37, my opinion, I would not have forgiven myself if I didn't do a movie review or a fireside chat on this specific episode because of this specific scene. And for me, it kind of sets the tone for I think it's within the first 5 to 10 minutes, and it pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the craziness that's going to go on between Dante and Randall.
Right.
What's your one of your favorite scenes?
I get to talk now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't have the main key.
You're the mic whore. So, and then he likes to jump ship on me too. Where are you going?
I was looking for.
Unimportant.
Sorry, I was looking for the magic beanie. Binky.
It's up there.
Oh.
Where you left it. You're upside down. No, you're not. Never mind. No, now you are. So one of my favorite scenes is when they close the store to play hockey on the roof.
Yeah, that is.
And then one of the customers comes because he wants to buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he climbs up the ladder to the roof, and he's like, "Are you guys open?" And they're like, he's when we're finished playing, or
Yeah.
And then he starts kind of mocking the one guy. Oh, you suck! Don't pass to him. He sucks.
Yeah, Dante. Yeah,
yeah,
I would
Dante.
say harass. He was
harassing. Yeah, that's the word. That's a better word.
Yeah.
And he gets they kind of have a little duel.
Verbal banter. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a little verbal back and forth, and he challenges him. That he can play better than him, and the customer whacks the ball clear off the roof and into a gutter.
Well, first of all, yeah, they get together, and he's got everybody else has got rollerblades on, because this is the 90s and rollerblades were the
that
big
was a thing. Yeah,
and he's just got his sneakers, so that he drops they're in the middle. The one guy drops the ball, and he just checks Dante. Dante falls down. He takes the ball, and he just, like I said, whacks it off the roof, and it lands like perfectly.
Is that what that official term is?
What? Checking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I like how you're not a sports person, but you know these terms. Okay.
It goes back to John Blake. I'm a vast reservoir of useless knowledge, whether it's movies or other things. So yeah. So and then Dante's all like,
yeah,
okay, give me another ball. It's like, no, the one guy with the long hair that wanted Gatorade in a previous thing, he goes,
boy.
I brought the orange ball and the orange ball. And Dante's like, what? One ball? You only brought one ball? We
only played for 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, and then, kind of.
Yeah, very funny scene. We won't tell the rest.
But this kind of, since we're kind of here, it leads into my favorite scene that Dante says throughout the whole course of the movie. I'm not even supposed to be here today,
Yeah.
Because he kind of got, I don't want to say hoodwinked, but he got talked into by the boss at the very beginning of the movie about, coming in, and when everything is going, anytime something goes slightly wrong, that's his response. I'm not even supposed to be here today. I'm not even supposed to be here today. And, and in essence, he is being a whiny little bitch.
Yes.
But I guess I can.
Hey, watch the swamp mouth.
I can, I guess I can relate, and with Dante and Randall, they're the yin and yang, so I guess for me, when I watch it, I relate to Dante, and when I see Randall, Randall reminds me of Stuffy.
Have you ever heard him say that at work?
What?
I'm talking to the listeners.
I'm not even supposed to be here today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been a whiny bench?
Yeah, I'm sure someone could say I was being a whiny bench.
Ever?
Sure, I'm sure.
You knocking my stuff down?
What's your
So,
Clerks.
Christmas in June.
Clerks, the Christmas special. Which was a comic book. But we'll get to that later. What's one of your favorite lines in the movie?
Crumb.
Crumb. I don't remember that one.
No, I got it.
Are we talking about Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy?
No.
You trying to tell me we should talk about our top 5?
No, we have to stay on target.
Fine, funny John Candy movies.
Stay on target. You go and let me think.
Okay.
We already said it.
Well, I like another favorite like line / scene was when Jay and Silent Bob are out there, which is the first movie that introduces Jay and Silent Bob, and there's a girl out there talking to Jay and Silent Bob. There's this third guy, which is supposed to be Silent Bob's cousin from Russia, and he's supposed to be a rock star, and he does his home. He said, she's all like, "Does he sing?" "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Olaf, sing, girl." Like, think pretty or whatever.
Girl think sexy.
Yeah. My love for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like to be making fork berserker? She's like, did he just say making fork?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, certain words rhyme together.
Yeah. One of mine is Jay and Silent Bob, are outside, and Jay's usually, dealing drugs and all. And Randall sticks it, I think he was he's I forget what he was doing, but he turns around and he told Jay, I thought I told you guys not to deal in front of the store, and Jay's like, I'm not dealing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Hey, can I buy something?
And then one of his customers, like, can I buy a nickel bag or something?
Yeah,
Dime bag?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, even another great line is because Randall works the video store right next to the convenience store, but Randall's constantly hanging out with Dante, and Dante keeps trying to get him to go back, and Randall's like, it's not like I'm a million miles away, it's right next door, but he's there's a scene where he's reading something, and a female customer is trying to get his opinion about two movies, and he's like, oh, I don't want to get involved, and she just kind of does a 180
turns,
and what about these two, and he goes, oh, those ones are bad. And she's like, these are the same two movies, and he's all like, oh, I hope it feels good, and she's like, what? And he's like, I hope it feels good that you point the shortcomings of others or something like that.
Right, yeah.
And she's like, screw you, I'm not coming to the store anymore.
Another thing you're not supposed to do. Customer service.
Exactly. I mean, Randall in this movie, I would say, is living the dream for some people. Anybody that's worked in, customer service every once in a while would be, would like to rip into a customer without getting any sort of, lashback from the bosses.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, but it's crazy what Randall does, and then Dante feels to make up with a customer, whether it's give them back their money or apologize or whatever. But it's just like, once again, these are two buddies that have known each other, I think, since grade school, and they're basically the yin and yang to one another. They bring balance to one another. And
right. I have another favorite line in the movie, and it goes back to the hockey game on the roof, and it's after they lose their ball.
Yeah.
And Dante leans over and he says, "Anybody got any balls down there?" And you hear Jay, "About the biggest pair you've ever seen, Dingleberry."
Yeah. Which is also, that same line is also in the music video too.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot which rock group sung that, but yeah. There's a lot of great lines in there. What else? You want to talk about some of the other Clerks stuff that spawned from this movie?
Sure.
Well, Lucy, what's your quick thought about when Clerks 2 came out? When I found out,
when I first heard, I was like, "Okay, really?"
Yeah.
But having seen the first one and having seen Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Dogma,
Jane Silent Bob Strike
Back. Seeing all of those, I was like, I have to give it a chance. And the big shocker for me was it was in color.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really a shock, but I was pleased to see that it was in color, because he's got the money for the budget now.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but we did see them in color with their little cameo part in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back,
right,
which was kind of nice.
Yeah,
to see them there, but to see them in another full movie which was great. And they're not working at the Quick Stop anymore. They're working at a McDonald's fast food restaurant called Movies.
Yeah.
And once again, it's got almost the same formula, but things are slightly changed up. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy these two characters, and when Kevin Smith announced a couple of years ago he was going to make a third one, right now, we know that because I think it was on our last, if it wasn't May's, definitely April's bit of tidbits news, he's finished up. He's editing the Clerks 3, and I want to see it because I love these characters, but at the same time, I'm also scared at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the first one came out in 94. Clerks 2 came out in 06 or 07. Now it's 2022.
Just pop your knuckle?
No.
Okay.
So, what's your hype level on Clerks 3?
I guess I want to see it like you. Yeah. It's not, I won't be heartbroken if I don't, but I do want to see it because I've seen the other two, and I want to see how he hope it's going to round out the story of
the
these
trilogy.
the story of these characters.
Yeah, the little synopsis that you can find online is that because at the end of Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob gave Dante and Randall money to reopen the Quick Stop. So they are their own.
They own the business.
They own the
now.
business. That's theirs. So that's what relieved them at Clerks 2. This one, they still own the Quick Stop. Becky and Dante are married, which they pretty much, the way I interpret it, that's what I allude to. They have a kid because she's pregnant. Elias, the one ring.
Yeah, the little nerd, the nerdy kid.
Yeah, he's an employee. Randall has some sort of stroke, and then I guess has some sort of like, what have I done with my life moment. So he wants to film them, basically they're kind of redoing what the first movie does, which I got to see it. I got to see it. Let's go on to some other stuff. Yeah. The live action TV pilot that I made you watch with Jim Brewer, of all people, playing Randall. What was that actress' name that played Felicity?
That was her name, Felicity.
No, the actress. What was her name? Carrie Kurt? No. Doesn't matter. She's in there. I mean, it was all right if you're looking at the multiverse, but Dante, the actor that plays Dante, it's not the same Dante. It's a different bit of a Dante. Jim Brewer, I think, does his best job to nail Randall's character, and then they introduce a third clerk, and it's not even at the Quick Stop. It's at a strip mall. So it's just all, but that's most of the times when you got a TV show based off of a movie, it just, you don't have the same actors, and it's, something completely different. So like the Police Academy TV show. Let's see here. What else is there? 13 episodes of an animated series, which the voices of Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson and Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes all reprised their roles as those characters. So even though it was an animated form, I enjoyed hearing those voices, watching the Clerks stuff.
Kerry Russell,
thank you. Who was also in Star Wars Episode 9. You watched those? I know it's been a while. Did you like the animated series? Yes or no?
It's been such a long time since I've seen them.
Yeah.
I think they were amusing.
Yeah, the show was on ABC. They only aired 2 or 3 shows, and then it was taken off the air. And I don't know, about 12 months later, they put all 13 episodes on a DVD. I had to get it. I enjoyed it for what it is. Don't expect anything interesting, but the Clerks still get into some weird, crazy stuff, which is kind of interesting. The little short that Kevin Smith did for a late night talk show where Dante and Randall are stuck in traffic. And they're talking about the flying car and like, what will you do? And once again, Randall harassing Dante,
egging him on.
Oh
my gosh, yeah.
It's like, German scientist wants to give you the flying car, but you got to lose a foot. He's like, a foot, it's about what I think about an 8-minute bit. So once again, because I enjoy these characters, I enjoyed that little piece. What was your opinion about that little piece?
I was getting annoyed at Randall for egging on Dante.
Oh yeah, he's just like one more thing.
Yeah, he's just. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's funny, it's amusing, but.
Well, I mean, he pretty much does that throughout the movie of Clerks. He
does, but there's, I don't know.
And let's see here, comic books. I know there's a Christmas special comic book, and then there's a couple other comic books that Kevin Smith had done. So I haven't seen any of those, but that seems kind of interesting. And they on the 10th anniversary Clerks DVD, they did the lost scene of what happened at the funeral home during the wake, because in the movie you see them go in,
and you see them come out.
Well, it's like goes to black, and it says 5 minutes later, you hear something like tip over, or whatever, and screaming, and
crashing,
you see them running away and getting in the car and driving off, and there's people, you know, shaking their fist. So, you know, if you ever wanted to know what was in there,
what happened in there,
yeah, you can even go to YouTube and type in Clerks lost scene, and so it's, you know, what went on in the
inside the parlor, the funeral parlor,
which, you know, during this, you know, you got Alyssa Jones, which is a connection to Chasing Amy. They do make reference to TS and Brody from Mallrats. So this little missing piece does solidify, it does connect the first three Kevin Smith movies from the VUSQ universe pretty nicely. So I would tell anybody, if you like Clerks and you kind of want to know what was going on, that for me it was not in their budget, and I think they did it. They pieced it together nicely. You know, it's like put it to your own imagination, and you can kind of guess the noises is like, did someone just accident? Well, plus when they get back, Dante's all over, you know, you knocked you knocked the casket over, and then Randall's like, oh, it's not like she's gonna break anything or anything, which is like such a Randall, you know, comment, you know.
Right.
But so it's like, okay, what happened in the funeral scene where, you know, Randall knocked over the casket, you know.
Right.
So, but once again, that's another time where they end up leaving. You know, they left twice, and, you know, there's so many crazy antics that go on in this movie, which really, it goes by like this. It's hard to believe that 90 minutes goes by. What's everybody saying in the chat?
Victor's fashionably late, as usual.
That's okay. I'll be fashionably late to shame you at the end of the show.
He's just tuning in to get the highlights so he doesn't have to watch it. Okay, so did you have any likes or dislikes? We've kind of gone over some
most of the stuff, but like I said earlier, I you know what I like about this movie, it's, I mean, you have to, originally when I saw the next movie, Mallrats, and I'm like, oh, they're making some, when they're talking about the one girl that did laps in the YMCA, and she had an embolism. I'm like, wait a minute, is that a connection? So he has threaded these through, and when you watch these movies back to back, you realize that even though Mallrats came out in 94, Clerks came out in 94, Mallrats came out in 95, it's actually, when you line them up time-wise, Mallrats is actually the first movie, and Clerks comes the day after it. So
yeah.
Plus, this movie what?
Victor says, "Don't shame me. I've been too busy."
Okay. I'll only shame you 500-600 more times, and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
No bullying.
Okay. No bullying.
I have zero tolerance for bullies.
Gotcha. This movie sets up where basically at the end of each movie, Silent Bob has some pearl of wisdom. Yeah. So that's what I like. You got any?
Yeah, that's for me too. You know, I think I can associate with him because I'm the same way, where I will, when I'm like in a situation or environment that I'm not usually familiar with.
Yeah.
I'm more of an observer.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I have something important to say, I'll say it.
Yeah,
but other than that, you know, I just kind of sit and listen.
Yeah.
And people misinterpret that as me being antisocial, but that's on them, not me.
Sure. One of the dislikes, and it's pretty much the only one I have, is the movie being in black and white. I understand why the choice was made. It was an indie film at the time, great, but at this point, why didn't he color it for the 20th or 25th anniversary, you know? Online on YouTube somewhere, there's about 4 or 5 minutes worth of various clips, and it's been colorized. So whoever did that and whatever they did, it looks good. So it would just be nice to see it in color once. What?
Trouble's here.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Stuffy's hot takes.
No, that's on Tidbits.
I know. You have any dislikes?
Well, other than being black and white. But again, I understand the reasoning behind it. So, other than that, not really, no.
What about the transitions when they got when it goes to black with the white lettering?
With the words, yeah.
Yeah, like with, Dante, Randall.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, James.
Some of the big words.
Yeah.
We'll call them stuffy words.
Yeah.
No, that didn't bother me.
Okay.
I liked the transit. Those transits, they seem to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it's kind of interesting because for the most part, when you watch Clerks 2, it's like a normal movie. So, I guess if someone had the ability to take the movie and edit it and then slice out those things, I wonder how the movie would what's what I'm looking for.
I have Herman's head going on in my head.
How the movie would flow.
I'm sitting here talking to you, but my brain is thinking about something else.
Gotcha.
Does that mean I'm getting bored?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, Sandy, should people watch this film that launched Kevin Smith's career?
I think so. I mean, it's not an action flick. It's more of a documentary.
Sure.
Type. I don't know.
If someone was like behind like the ho-hos or something with a video camera,
yeah.
taping what was going on at a video store without the clerks knowing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's got some really great scenes in it. It's funny. It's what's the word? I can't think of the word.
Another favorite part I like is when Randall asks Dante to borrow the keys to the car. It's like, we just went to a wake, play hockey on the roof. He's like, and plus he goes, you work at a video store, and he lays it out. I work at a shirty video store. I want to go to a good video store, and eventually, due to an interaction with a customer, Dante just take my keys, get out of here, and he goes to Big Lots video store, and he just drops down on his hands and knees. Is like,
Your sister's offended.
Offended why?
Because we said Stuffy's words.
Oh, no. I agree with you. This is definitely a movie I personally feel anybody in their 20s should watch. The movie holds up after all these years and captures the relationship between two friends and co-workers. And like I said earlier, it would be nice to see this movie in color on its 30th anniversary in 2 years.
I would say anybody who's ever worked in retail, customer service, or anything like where you've had to deal with customers, should see this movie.
Yes, there's
because it fantasizes what we all think about when we're dealing with difficult people.
The occasional rude customer, yeah.
Difficult people.
Yeah.
I know you have several.
Well, I would say that this, because it almost feels like there's someone videotaping behind the ho-hos on what these two characters are. So
the Twinkies.
Twinkies, ho-hos, snowballs. That's a hostess treat.
Yeah, it is. Marshmallow.
There is, I mean, you will see these two characters engage in normal conversation because, anybody that works in retail with customers, you have your dialogue and the words you select are completely different when it's just you and your coworker to oppose that if there's a customer within earshot. So, I mean, once again, I'm not trying to shame Victor, but I've been trying to find out how to encourage him. I almost feel like I
think it was me.
Put the $5 in his hand because his buddy Jason, who's seen Clerks, says this is Victor's movie. This is a movie that Victor would enjoy. And, you know, I keep sending him little memes and little video clips to his phone and stuff, trying to figure out just to get him to watch this. Because
you need to take your little DVD player down there and watch it on lunch.
Probably. Is that what I need to do, Victor? I got to bring down my portable DVD player?
You know how we used to, well, I don't know if you did, but when I was in like middle school, junior high, high school, you know, usually English period, we'd have movie day and we'd get to watch like 45 minutes of a movie because that's how long the class was. And we'd finish it the next day, you know, or however many days it took to watch the whole movie.
Is that what I need to do, Victor? Like on Friday, Saturday, you can watch it during your lunch hour?
You can have movie days. OMG.
What?
Frankman Rules is here.
Excellent.
How you going?
What's your opinion about Clerks there, Frank?
Yeah, the soundtrack is also amazing, Chewbacca. Yep. Wow. That just threw me for a loop because
well, you know, we're getting more and more people, which is great. I mean, I put the feel out there. I figure whoever shows up, great. If nobody, everybody can watch this later. Any other things we want to just kind of chat about Clerks before we wind it down, since I think we're coming up on 37 minutes of the video?
We shot past that a long time ago.
Don't say shot.
Hit. We hit past that. Don't say hit. Just for you guys. Okay. No, I got nothing.
Yeah, overall,
I'm ready for lunch.
I would tell lunch.
Yeah, it's almost 11:30.
Excellent. Anything else you want to mention that we haven't mentioned? Don't want to give away too much. Don't want. You know.
I'll leave that up to you. You know, you just have to.
I know. I everybody that knows me, I talk too much and I ramble. Whether it's Big Mama Blake or Victor or Frank or, you know, anybody that knows me. Johnny.
I blame your father.
For better, for worse.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, when we're in Blake settings, it's great. You just stand next to me. I'll do all the talking, you know. But in a case like this, I have a hard time sharing the mic. I have a hard time sharing the mic, even ask Duff.
Frank shared a favorite.
Well, what's
Frank says, when they're talking about Empire versus Jedi, the song in the background is great. They're yelling about Chewbacca.
Yeah, actually, that is.
Well, now I gotta watch it again.
That's an interesting scene. I mean, I never.
No, Stuffy, that's the wrong movie.
Yeah, I would say before we sign out, let's kind of quick touch on what Frank said. Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, it's just fight. Empire, Jedis, you know, great, but get a little bit older and watch this. It's sort of like, you know, he was talking about, you know, how the first Death Star was completed. So, you know, you had the Empire there. So when Luke Skywalker blew it up, no harm, no foul, you know. Good guys win, bad guys take a loss. But the second Death Star, which was, if you don't know it, it's mentioned in the novel. The second Death Star is twice the size of the first one.
Yeah.
So it was still under construction. So Randall's whole thing was about, like, you know, independent contractors coming in to do a government job, and then these crazy terrorists come in and they blow it up, and then you got all the, you know, these guys who had nothing to do with the war get killed, and now you got casualties of a war that, you know, they weren't involved with, and it's like, you know, that's kind of interesting. Sort of like how when we're watching Big Bang Theory and Sheldon shows Amy Raiders of the Lost Ark and one of his great movies, and she goes, no, that's a cute movie, but, you know, Indy serves no purpose. Everything's going to play out the same way it does, whether he was involved or not.
Right.
And it's like, damn, never thought about that. Just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in the Big Bang Theory when they do the Indiana Jones, it's like, damn it.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. They just,
Son of a biscuit.
If the Nazis had the medallion, they would have dug in the right place, and they still would have gone to the island. They still would have opened it up, and it's still.
They all would have died.
They still, yeah. It just, you know, George Lucas was a big fan of the serial movies, like, you know, Flash Gordon and these adventure movies. So that's where Star Wars and Indiana Jones comes from,
Right,
you know, back in the day, you know, just on a much grander scale. But yeah, once I heard that, I'm like, oh man. But yeah, I guess when you really start to break down any movies, you can see the little
Oh yeah, yeah.
things that, you know, but it's usually I mean, for me, I gotta watch it several times before I start picking up on stuff.
So I think that's going to be it for Fireside Chat.
That is anything else that's being typed in the chat before we head off on
no, Steffi and Eduardo are showing their adoration for each other.
Okay.
Your mom says no Reader's Digest versions for you or Stuffy. Your storytelling.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Big Mama Blake. We can blame John Blake on that.
That's what I said. Blame your father.
Are you trying to tell me John Blake's my father?
Yeah, and the older you get, the more like him you get.
Great. Does that mean I need to start growing out the mustache?
No.
The mustachio?
No. You already know how I feel about that.
Okay. Well, you want to close us out?
Yeah, so be sure to go check out our other content on YouTube and Patreon, and you can listen to us on all of the major podcasting apps.
Like Justin and Robert. Robert's a truck driver, so he usually listens to us. And Justin,
the podcast, yeah.
Except for Justin popped in last week, so that was cool to see that. Yes, the next movie review for the month of June is Pacific Rim Uprising, chosen by Eduardo for being at the outrageous tier.
And we here at Sequel Centric are working on the next Patreon episode.
We are?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Which will be a full segment. Stump the Chump, where I'm going to test Nate's knowledge on, shut up, on movies over the last 50 years. Wow.
Listening.
I was done. Are you paying attention?
I gotta ask Big Mama Blake, did Grandpa Percy dip a binky in whiskey and... No, wait, he dipped his finger and rubbed it on my gums. Okay, never mind. Okay.
You're gonna shoot someone's eye out. Oh, wait, wrong. That's the wrong movie.
Yeah, Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for joining.
We have one last person.
One last person joining us.
Jonathan Vergara? Who's that?
Oh, our tire specialist, Jonathan.
Our tire specialist?
At Toyota.
Oh, at Toyota.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember.
He went and saw Maverick Solo. He told me that it's sequels.
Oh,
it's
cool.
His opinion, because he watched the original, and then but he'll have to say in the chat about...
That's the one that just subscribed to my channel as well.
Nice. So 3 to 5 days later, he ended up seeing Maverick Solo.
I'm hoping to get back into it.
So so his unofficial sequel-centric verdict is
viewer verdict.
Buy it.
There we go. Viewer verdict.
Yeah, viewer verdict. So yeah, Jonathan says buy it, and when he says buy it, go see it. It's one of those movies you got to see on the big screen. He says the aerial combat scenes are insane. Plus, Tom Cruise wanted... Most of this is real stuff. I guess a lot of the actors had to do G-force training to make it look. So the budget's insane.
Snap.
Yeah, so I think I had someone else tell me besides Jonathan that it was Johnny. He's seen it twice, and he says for him it's sequels too. So
okay, well that's another show.
Okay, we're gonna go play with the boys.
No, we're not. We're gonna go to
Lana, danger zone.
We're going to watch The Doctor.
Okay, The Doctor. Until next time, see ya.